Hi all, my name is Alexander Leonov and this is again a new episode of In the Trend of VM. The CClab film crew went on vacation. Therefore, there was a choice. Skip the episode of In the Trend of VM about the July vulnerabilities or make a video myself, which is what I will try to do. And from the next episode, we will return to CClab again. So, today, as usual, I will talk about trending vulnerabilities, the most critical vulnerabilities that are actively exploited by attackers or may be exploited in the near future. In July, there were 3 such vulnerabilities. A spoofing vulnerability in the engine for processing and displaying HTML pages of the Microsoft Windows MMHTML platform. This is a vulnerability from the July Microsoft Patch Tuesday. According to Checkpoint, attackers use special .url files in their attacks, the icon of which is similar to the icon of a PDF documents. If the user clicks on the file and ignores 2 uninformative warning notifications, then a malicious HTA application is launched in the outdated Internet Explorer browser built into Windows. That creates the user interface and operates the malware. What is HTA? This is a Microsoft Windows application that is an HTML document. The application is displayed in a separate window using the Microsoft Internet Explorer engine. This window does not contain familiar browser interface elements, menus, address bars, toolbars, etc. The most dangerous thing is that most Internet Explorer security restrictions do not apply to HTA. The HTA application, and therefore the attacker, can create, modify, delete files and entries in the Windows System Registry. Why does the link open in Internet Explorer? This is all due to the processing of the MHTML prefix in the .url file. The July update blocks this. Checkpoint experts found examples of such .url files as far back as January 2023. According to Trend Micro, the vulnerability is exploited by the apt group Void Banshee to install the Atlantida Stealer malware and collect passwords, cookies, and other sensitive data. Void Banshee add malicious .url files to archives with PDF books and distribute them through websites, instant messengers, and phishing emails. Arbitrary code execution vulnerability in Artifact's Ghostscript. Memory corruption allows an attacker to bypass the safer sandbox and execute arbitrary code. Ghostscript is an interpreter for PostScript and PDF documents. It is used in various software, for example, ImageMagick, LibreOffice, GIMP, Inkscape, Scribus, Cups, etc. It is available for many operating systems. It is difficult to say exactly how widespread it is, but it is clear that it is very widespread. For example, thanks to Cups, it is included in almost every Linux distribution and is often installed by default. If we take computers running Linux alone, there will already be billions of them. And here, it's not limited to Linux. This is a very large-scale problem. Ghostscript 10.3.1, which fixes the vulnerability, was released on May 2nd. 2 months later, on July 2nd, Codian Labs experts published a detailed analysis of this vulnerability and POC. In the video demonstration, they run the calculator by opening a special PS file with the Ghostscript utility or a special ODT file in LibreOffice. On July 10th, a functional exploit appeared on GitHub, and on July 19th, a module appeared in Metasploit. According to Security Affairs and some other sites, the vulnerability is being exploited in the wild. But they all refer to a single microblog post from some developer from Portland. I think more reliable evidence of exploitation and attacks will soon appear. Arbitrary code execution vulnerability in the Acronis Cyber Infrastructure hyperconverged platform. Due to the default passwords used, a remote unauthenticated attacker can gain access to the Acronis Cyber Infrastructure ACI server and execute arbitrary code on it. ACI is a hyperconverged platform for storage, backup, compute, virtualization, and networking functions. Patches that correct this vulnerability were released on October 30th, 2023. 9 to 10 months later, on July 24 of this year, Acronis noted in a bulletin that the vulnerability showed signs of exploitation in the wild. They write that the purpose of the exploitation was to install a cryptometer. On July 29, the vulnerability was added to CISA-KEV. A number of sources report 20,000 service providers using ACI. I haven't found any evidence of this. There may be confusion here with Acronis Cyber Protect. However, there are probably quite a few large companies using ACI. If you work for such a company, be sure to pay attention. That's all. Read more about these vulnerabilities in our July digest of trending vulnerabilities or in the post on Haber. The links are in QR codes. Write your impressions of the section in the comments and see you in a month. Bye, everyone. Being aware of threats is the best move. Take your phone and scan this QR code. You will find everything you need there. Reviews of important vulnerabilities, tools for prioritization and detection, news from VM vendors, updates to regulatory documents. Subscribe to the Avlionovcom channel, Vulnerability Management, and more in Telegram.